Hello everyone, welcome to Fullmoon Movies. Wong Kar-wai is not a filmmaker you simply watch, you enter his world. The world of Wong Kar-wai Criterion Collection feels less like a box set and more like a lived emotional journey, where each film flows into the next not through plot continuity but through shared memory, longing, and the quiet ache of being human. Watching these 7 films together is their restored form reveals how Wong doesn't tell stories in isolation, but he builds a cinematic universe of feelings that echo, refract, and deepen over time. What immediately stands out across the collection is how Wong Kar-wai treats human experience as fragments rather than conclusions. His characters rarely find resolution. Instead, they hover in moments between love and loss, movement and stasis, desire and regret. This is what allows one film to transcend into another. You don't move on from as tears goes by into days of being wild, you carry its emotional residue forward instead. Now Wong debuted as Tears Go By introduced the tension that will define his career. The pull between duty and intimacy. Though it is structurally closer to a crime thriller, the film already hints at Wong's obsession with people and who want something simple love, stability, normalcy, but are trapped in systems that demand violence and loyalty. Maggie Cheung's presence here feels like an emotional foreshadowing. Even early on, Wong frames romance as something fragile, easily disrupted by the world pressing it. With Days of Being Wild, Wong's voice fully blooms. Time becomes elastic, memory becomes unreliable, and desire becomes something that both connects and isolates. The characters drift in and out of one another's lives like passing trains. Leslie Cheung's Yudi isn't cruel, he's emotionally incomplete. Maggie Cheung's quiet earning and Andy Lau's restrained melancholy establish a rhythm Wong will return to repeatedly. Love that exists mostly in anticipation or aftermath. Now, the film doesn't ask us to judge these people, it asks us to sit with their loneliness. Now, then comes Chungking Express, the film that made Wong Kar-wai globally iconic. It is playful, impulsive, bustling with kinetic energy, yet underneath its pop surface lies profound emotional truth. Two cops, two heartbreaks, fleeting connections at a food stall, Wong captures the strange intimacy of urban loneliness. Tony Leung's stillness contrasts beautifully with Faye Wong's restless curiosity. Now, this film shows how Wong understands the human connection often happens sideways, accidentally, and disappears just as quietly. Fallen Angels feels like Chungking Express' nocturnal twin, where Chungking is bright and hopeful, Fallen Angels is drenched in neon sadness. The characters here seem more aware of their isolation. Leon Lai's hitman and Michelle Rizzi's earning partner never quite align emotionally, mirroring how Wong often presents love as asymmetrical. The mute character played by Takashi Kaneshiro adds a tragic absurdity, connection without language, intimacy without understanding. It's a film about proximity without closeness, about living in the same city but in different emotional dimensions. With Happy Together, Wong strips away whimsy and exposes raw emotional volatility. Now, this is one of his most devastating works. Not because of what happens, but because how cyclical the pain feels. Tony Leung and Leslie Cheung's relationship is passionate, destructive, tender, and exhausting. Set against displacement in Argentina and uncertainty surrounding Hong Kong's 1997 handover, the film becomes a meditation of identity, belonging, and the impossibility of returning to what once was. Love here is not romanticized, it is endured. Then comes the crown jewel, In the Mood for Love. This is Wong Kar-wai at his most restrained and devastating. The film is built almost entirely on what is not said. Tony Leung and Maggie Cheung convey longing through posture, silence, and distance. The repeated hallways encounters, the slow motion walks, the aching music, all of it transforms suppressed desire into something monumental. The film doesn't just portray love, it captures the moral weight of restraint, the pain of choosing dignity over indulgence. Finally, in 2046, acts as both continuation and reflection. It is less about love itself and more about what happens after love becomes memory. Tony Leung's Chow Mo Wan writes science fiction to process emotional trauma, turning heartbreak into metaphor. Time travel, repetition, and imagined futures all become tools for avoiding emotional finality. 2046 feels fragmented, restless, unresolved, and intentionally so. It is Wong acknowledging that memory does not heal, it merely reshapes itself. Now, what makes this Criterion collection especially powerful is how the films converse with one another. Characters reappear, emotional patterns reoccur, and themes evolve. Now, the loneliness in one film becomes regret in another. Passion transforms into nostalgia. The same actors embody different lives, as if Wong is exploring variations of the same emotional questions across time. Now, visually, the restorations approved by Wong Kar-wai himself emphasize his sensual aesthetic, saturated colors, textured shadows, motion blur, and lingering close-ups. Collaborators like Christopher Doyle and William Chang are an essential to his world as Wong himself. The image doesn't just look beautiful, they feel remembered. Soundtracks too are integral. Songs repeat like emotional triggers, anchoring moments to memory. The extensive bonus features deepen this experience rather than distract from it. Wong's reflections, alternate versions, short films, and interviews reinforce the idea that his cinema is exploratory rather than definitive. Even the packaging, the book, essay, and artwork feels curated to reflect his philosophy. That is, cinema as mood, as memory, as emotion suspended in time. In conclusion, the world of Wong Kar-wai is not just about stories with beginnings and endings, it's about people passing through each other's lives, carrying unspoken feelings forward. Now, each film stands alone, yet together they form a tapestry of human experience. Those love missed, love delayed, love remembered, too late. Now, this collection doesn't just preserve films, it preserves emotional states. Watching them in sequence feels like watching a life unfold in fragments. Youthful longing, reckless passion, quiet regret, and reflective solitude. Few filmmakers really understand these inner rhythms of human connections the way Wong Kar-wai does. This set isn't just to celebrate his work, but it is an invitation to feel, remember, and linger. Now, these movies are a must-watch.